Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Jane Away. I'll be teaching y'all how to make cake pops today. These are super simple for you to make. They are time consuming, but I want to make sure that I cover everything so y'all can get that perfect cake pop. These are super delicious. Y'all won't regret making these. So first, I'm going to start with the cake. The one that I picked today is the Betty Crocker Super Moist Cake Mix in white. White is my favorite cake, but you guys can pick any flavor that you like. We need to make sure that when we make these that we follow the directions on the box. Heat oven to 350 degrees for shiny metal or glass pan, or 325 degrees for non-stick pan. Make sure that you figure out what type of pan y'all will be using. So I will be using a non-stick pan. So I have to preheat my oven to 325 degrees, which I already have because my oven takes forever to preheat. It is super important that y'all preheat your ovens, because if you're going to put this cake, let's say I'm using a 13 by 9 pan today. So on the instructions, it shows 13 by 9. You're going to bake it from 29 to 34 minutes. If you don't preheat your oven, then that time basically it means nothing, because when you put your cake in, the oven's not going to be heated to the right temperature, so it's not going to bake properly. It might not rise properly. The next thing it shows here is for you to grease bottom only of a 13-inch by 9-inch pan, or bottom and sides of all other pans. Since I'm using the 13 by 9, I only have to grease the bottom. I'll get to that after I mix my ingredients. I like to put all my ingredients in the bowl first to have that ready to go, and then I'll jump to greasing the pan. Put the cake mix in, then I'm gonna put the 3 eggs in. Then I have my 1 cup of water here. I did have this half measuring cup filled already, but I accidentally spilled it, so I'm going to fill it here. Now that I have this ready, I'm going to mix everything for 2 minutes on medium speed. So I have my watch here, I'll just check for 2 minutes. I started kind of slow at first, so it doesn't splatter everywhere. I've mixed everything for 2 minutes. Now I'm going to grease my pan. Grease it however you like to, but I use a napkin and butter. Pick up some butter here. And then I spread it on the pan. So there you have it. The bottom is greased. We're going to pour our cake mix into the pan. So after I spread it with the spatula, it's just to spread it evenly. And if I feel that it's still not even, like I kind of shake it. My oven's already preheated at 325. Now I'm going to put this in there. The box said 29 to 34 minutes. My oven heats up, I don't know what it is, but it usually cooks everything faster. So I put 5 minutes less. So I'm going to start with 24 minutes. And then that's it, guys. So I'll be back to show y'all after the cake is done. So the oven's about to beep. I'm gonna see what the cake looks like now. So you poke the center. If it comes out clean, it's ready. The cake has been sitting here for about 2 hours, so for sure it's not hot anymore. Now that we have the cake ready, I take off this layer on the top. When I use the full cake, I get about 2 dozens. I'm only gonna make half a cake right now. This is the piece that I'm gonna use. Cut this into smaller sections. Put this in my bowl. I already transferred my cake into the bowl. I'm gonna show y'all how you do it with just your hands, breaking it up with your hands. You also have the option of using a food processor if you have it. Start breaking the cake apart. If you see any of these like chunks that are not breaking, take them out. You can take a fork and run that through. This is the frosting that I'll be adding, Rich and Creamy Vanilla by Betty Crocker. I know some people use like half of this. I don't. I use just enough to make it into a little dough. So I'm gonna start with the tablespoon. And then you start to mix that in here. Add more. I'm gonna do about another tablespoon. Try to form one solid ball. Pick up all the crumbs. That's how you know it'll be ready. Here it looks like it's gonna need more, but I'm not gonna give up on it just yet. I wanna try to pick up all these little crumbs without adding so much frosting. Here you can see where it's already coming together. Here I see where it's cracking, so I'm gonna add a little bit more frosting just to bring it into like a smooth ball. I'm gonna be using this tool. I actually ordered this off of Amazon. It's pretty cool. You're gonna try to get into the middle of the dough so that way it covers the entire surface in here. If you just pinch it up at the top, you might have some gaps. So I'm gonna push it down. And this is what it's gonna do. From the excess off. And take that out. That looks more round. So what this tool does for me is that it helps me pick up the right amount of the dough that I need. I like it to be more of a nicer ball, so I'm going to mush it together to make sure that all the lines and creases they're gone. And then after I do that, then I just roll it in between my palms. So this is why I mush it together first, so it can give it that nice solid look with no creases, no lines, no cracks. Using the Wilton treat sticks, and these are the 8-inch sticks. You're going to hold the cake pop gently while you insert the stick right through the middle. And twist to go down just to not mess up the shape of the cake pop. Now we can transfer them to a large plate. Take them carefully and start placing them on the plate. I refrigerate them for about 10 minutes. When you get these out of the fridge, these will be a nice temperature. So you have to work quickly when you take them out, because then these will kind of warm up, and once you dip them into your chocolate, then the chocolate's just going to drip off. If you refrigerate them properly and work quick enough, the chocolate will react to the coolness of the cake pop and it'll seal it faster. So you won't have that drip. If you guys watch my other video with the Oreo Pops, the dipping technique is pretty much the same. I dip it in as much as I can and then I wiggle it at the end. So we're down to our last one. Going to prepare the white chocolate for my drizzle. I cut this corner and now I'm gonna pour the chocolate on the opposite corner. That'll be enough. I don't need to pour the whole thing in. Okay guys, so crazy thing. I thought I was recording and I actually wasn't, so I did not catch the drizzle on camera. So I'm just gonna go over a few of them. They might look sloppy, but just so y'all get the idea of how to do your drizzle. I'm gonna take this one and you're gonna roll it inward as you take this hand and you go back and forth with the drizzle. You squeeze, roll inward, and drizzle. I really wish I had made an extra one, but I didn't. Here's the finished product. I hope that you guys enjoyed my video. Look at how good these look.